Let me go on VSBW, get this thing real quick. I'm about to send a skin. Alright, so do you agree to versus battles wiki?
You said what then?
Do you agree to versus battles wiki for like a metric of scaling?
Do I use versus battle wiki
No,
for a
no. I said,
metric
do
of
you agree
scaling?
to versus battles wiki that so we can use it for metric of
What,
scaling?
what do you mean by agree?
Like, so we can use it as a metric of scaling.
Yeah, that doesn't answer my question. What do you mean by
Yeah, that would
agree?
mean
Like,
like
what am I
we can
what am I
quantify
agreeing to?
like we can quantify strength and speed with VSBW. That's what
Yeah,
this is.
sure. Like in terms of like this character is universal. This character like this means planetary. This means FTL. Sure, but that
So
doesn't. Yeah, there's different ways. I don't want you to be like, yo, do you agree to VSB as a metric? And they'd be like, yeah, you have to use a Luffy on VSB. Like,
no.
I
I'm not trying to
disagree.
use their like exact scaling. I just want to
You
use their
should have
like
just said like, do you agree to the tiering system?
Yeah,
yeah, like
that's what I was asking
like their
for.
footnotes and stuff.
I agree to their tiering system. Their footnotes are kind of retarded. They like contradict themselves like 4 different times in like one of their footnotes. It's kind of dumb, but
Okay.
I agree to the tiering, and
Oh, like
depending on the footnote, sure, arguably.
alright. Where is the? I'm trying to get a something from VSBW real quick. Alright, so bro, where is the fucking thing? Shit's annoying. You know what?
Didn't versus battle wiki say King Piccolo was only country level?
That's why
We're not going to talk about how retarded versus battle
Dude,
wiki
what
is.
the fuck was that? It is the most like simple shit to get him to move.
They had like Ichigo like multi-continental, right?
Yeah, versus battle wiki does
Really?
suck.
Alright,
But
so basically, are you like aware that Zeref was like able to reset a timeline?
Zeref was able to reset a timeline. Post a scan.
Alright, I got you.
Their scan shot too, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Alright. Scans chat too. I'm trying to find it now. I just sent it in scans. I couldn't find scans chat too. If that's fine.
That's what I'm talking about. It's just scans.
He said chat too, so I thought you had like multiple scan sections.
No. Okay. I would not go into. I would make much a time reset. It's not even what happens. He didn't reset time. What are you trying to argue?
A time reset?
Yeah, like, are you trying to say Zeref reset a time?
Yeah, like reset a point in time.
Okay, that he never. When did he do that?
He reset himself in the timeline.
Better speed feats and
Okay, you're arguing.
apparently. So
All I'm
All
saying
right,
is
can you go on mute? Whoever's talking in the back.
all I'm saying is he can like
he's going to violate you.
All right.
I'm saying he can manipulate things temporally.
Okay, where's that shown in the scan?
It's like it's like stated that he reset himself in a point of the timeline, which would cause him to manipulate time.
All right, continue.
Alright, you said I can continue, right?
Hold up, bro.
Oh, thank you. I found a note. Fuck.
Because people be having like their fucking mic on it. Like,
bro, can someone turn their mic off? God damn.
All right, go ahead.
Alright.
Krous, I think you muted the guy that was debating you.
I did? Oh, let me see. Fuck.
His name was like Angel, right?
Let me see.
Yeah, it's Angel.
My fault, bro.
Sorry.
I there's like a lot of people like fucking hitting like drum sets or whatever in their background.
Yeah, a lot of niggas did.
All right, go ahead.
You agreed to that, right? That he can, okay, so
no, I didn't.
I thought
I'm
you
saying
said
why is this like what is I'm saying, why does this scan like show that Zeref is reset in time?
Oh, you probably muted me when I said it, but basically, he's like He would have to be manipulating a point in time to like erase himself.
No, it's not even what happens in the scan. He just says like the whole scan contextually. I don't know why you cropped it either. It's kind of like disingenuous and ratty. Like the whole scan, it literally is like it's about like going through the gates of time to reset everything. And then he says like I would not go to the past or future. I will remake myself once again, a time reset. And it's referring to Zero walking through the doors. Like
Wait,
none of
you
that
know he.
in that scan
Let
actually
me see.
shows that
Let
or
me see.
reference why Zerf has the power to do so.
Yeah, when he's going through the doors, you know that's when he acquires the fairy heart, right?
Yeah, you're trying to argue that he has this ability though. I don't see where you're showing that he
Yeah,
does.
so I'm saying like wait, you said he's it's just referring to when he was walking through the doors, but he
No,
actually
there's the scene you're referring to. That's what I'm saying. That you got this crop scan from is they show the doors and then it's referencing Zeref going through the doors to obliterate everything. It's completely different. The fairy heart scan is where it says the whole unlimited power thing or infinite magic thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it wouldn't make sense for him to be going through the door in this.
Yeah, so what is this scan showing then? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Do you have
so
the
that
scan
I'm just
itself?
saying. Okay, wait. I think the scan is. Let me send you the scan. Real quick.
Yeah, post the whole panel because
I haven't even scaled Natsu in like a month. These aren't. I'm not trying to be disingenuous. I just don't like. I haven't read the fucking. I'm getting like scans from a scan server.
yeah, just post the whole panel.
Yeah, I'm showing what it's referring to. Actually, I might drop this point. If I can find the thing on HBW, then I just drop this point. I didn't even want to argue this.
No.
Give me a minute. I'm about to send it.
Andrew, why are you debating this man Krous? You don't even do boots here. What the hell?
I don't know. I was just bored. Bro.
Uh-oh. Good.
If anyone has the bro, oh my god.
You're gonna pull this out or like
Yeah,
are you just
I'm
looking
about
for
to
it?
get it. I'm trying to. I know I have it. Don't worry.
Andrew, might as well just ask bone.xx for the scan. Might as well just go off our outside hope.
Okay, sure. Let's just say. So, what would you argue with this scan? Like, are you gonna try to say like he could like manipulate time?
Oh yeah, time manipulation.
Okay. Do you think it's passive?
Do I think it's passive?
Yeah.
No, but I think it affects his
Okay.
existential level.
Do you think what?
I think it affects his existential level.
What do you think that means?
His level of existence. What else?
Okay, so you're thinking that it could affect existence itself. Is that what you're
No,
arguing?
like his existential plane would be affected when he manipulates time and would upscale his existential
Okay.
plane.
Okay. So are you just gonna try to argue that he's just stronger? Like, where does this argument lead
Okay,
into? It seems
so
like you're
like
trying to lead it
can your
somewhere.
character perceive time?
Can my character perceive time? Sure.
Why? Can you prove it?
Huh?
How?
Yeah, we all perceive time.
We all perceive time. Why?
Yeah, everybody perceives time on a plane.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that makes
time.
sense.
Yeah, because time is. Do you think that time is like dependent upon the mind, or do you think it's independent from the mind?
I don't think it's dependent on the mind.
Okay, so you think time is independent from the mind?
Uh, how to take a neutral stance?
That's not how that works. Obviously, we're in a debate exchange in dialectics. You're trying to reach a
You can
common
exchange in
conclusion.
dialectics and take a neutral
No,
stance.
you wouldn't. If you taking a neutral stance upon this proposition, if you try to assert the value that it could be dependent or independent, and we can't make a claim on it, you're not actually able to substantiate why characters can't
Well,
perceive
no,
time,
I'm
and
not.
you can't
Okay,
make a. Why are you talking over me? Like I was still midpoint, but I said you
that's why
can't
I
make a
stopped
claim on
talking.
why characters can perceive time or can't. And I'm telling you that a character would operate under a system where they would be able to perceive it. So
If I'm agnostic, if I'm taking a neutral stance on a question, it doesn't mean
this
what's it called?
there's agnostic isn't
I
inherently
said
neutral. So
neutral
yeah,
stance after.
you said agnostic in the
Yeah,
beginning,
then I
but whatever.
corrected myself to neutral. I mean, I'm pretty sure I already said that.
Krous is a faggot.
Anyways,
Krous is a faggot.
anyways, I was just taking a neutral stance. You can take a neutral stance on a question and still engage in dialectics. It just means I'm not It just means I'm not gonna
Uh,
give you a yes or no to your question. You
okay.
have to prove either side to me.
You fucking dumbass.
And then you said you,
This is fucking retarded. You actually fucking.
bro. That's not
Okay.
funny, bro.
My fault.
Fuck, man.
Let me ban this guy. All right. Yeah, so that's not how that works. So if you're gonna make the claim and then you say, do you think that your character can perceive time? If I were just to respond with a neutral or skeptic answer, we can just apply skepticism to skepticism and go off on like an irrelevant tangent that just leads to a bunch of whys and just a bunch of regressions mid debates. So instead of doing so, to converse properly and actually get to this common conclusion faster, instead of delaying or slowing down dialectics, by actually trying to reach a conclusion by answering certain propositions to reach a common goal or a common consensus using a logical foundation, you would attribute that factor to say, yes, I think that time is dependent or codependent, or in this case, independent from the mind for perspective. And I'm just going to take the assumption and just assume that you think that time is dependent upon the mind because you're kind of answering the question for me by you even addressing it. So
What? That's okay. Okay. First of all, an infinite regress only takes place if okay, an infinite regress can't take place here because you asked me a question. I took a neutral stance. Like,
when
there's
did I
no
say that it? When did I say an infinite
You
regress would
said
take
okay.
place here?
Regress. My bad. Anyways, you said it would go into regress and skepticism.
No, I said it would go on a regress if I just answered your question when you asked me, do I think that my character can perceive
Yeah,
time?
and then
I
you
could
said
just say, I don't know.
we would just be saying
Yeah, if I tell you I don't know if my character, if I tell you I don't know if my character can perceive time, what is your response?
My response is okay. Wait. You say that again?
If I tell you I do not know if my character can perceive time, what is your response?
Okay, I would say okay. If your character can't perceive time, I'd give you a.
That's not what I said. I
No,
said if my
I'm saying
character.
my answer to the question. I'd give you a hypothetical. I'd be like,
Okay.
okay, if your character can't perceive time, or you don't know, and you can't give me an answer, then one of your win conditions for the fight would be defeated because my character is on a higher existential plane than yours. That's what I would say.
How do you know that though?
Okay, because you'd have to prove it. Because
No, how do you? Why do I have to prove that your character is on a higher existential plane? I'm
No,
asking
okay.
you.
The question you asked Krous was, okay, what if I just say Luffy can't perceive time? I'd be like,
That's not what I
okay,
said. Why are you
okay,
strawmanning
all
me?
right.
I said that. Why do you think that? I said, why do you think that's the case? Like, why do you think your
Why do
character
you
is
think
on this higher
Luffy
plane?
can perceive time? I'm like, okay.
That's not what I said.
Oh my
Again, I'm
god.
gonna repeat it. Why do you think your character is on a higher existential plane?
Okay, because he can perceive. Okay, because he can perceive time
Yeah. So how can you prove your character can perceive time
with the skin.
from your skin? Why does a manipulation of time include a perception of
Okay,
time?
if you manipulate, okay, like say this right, in dimensionality, there's an inaccessible cardinal. So if I were to manipulate like a 3D
Yeah, but
character,
how do you know this to be the case? Why do you think that there's an inaccessible cardinal within dimensionality?
okay, within dimensional exist. I don't even have to use inaccessible. If you're
Okay.
manipulating something and interacting with it, there has to be some type of perception there, or you wouldn't be truly manipulating it
Okay,
and having any type of control.
what do you think perception means?
Perception is just seeing something and being able to interact with it.
Perception is seeing something and being able to what?
perception. I just think perception is being able to see something. See
Okay.
can take
So
see
so
no
so
see or
so wait
feel.
wait
See or
wait.
feel.
So
See or feel.
do you not think that I can close my eyes and not see something and still be able to interact with
To
things in my
see,
house?
hear, or become aware of something with your senses. That's what I think perception is.
Yeah. So now you're changing your this arbitrary definition you have for perception.
No, we
Okay.
can. No. This is
Okay.
what I said. I
Okay.
said
What is?
to see something, and then I added on. It's not
Yeah.
changing.
So you're changing it. You went from seeing to talking about your senses. That's
No,
changing
I
it.
added
Like
on
there's
before.
nothing
I
wrong with
added
that.
on even before this.
If you add on these things, what is that
No,
doing?
I added on
Changing the
before you
inherent.
had called me out for
Okay.
backtracking or
Okay. That's
changing
not a
it.
backtrack. What the hell? Why is it clarification backtracking?
Oh,
You're
I
just like
thought you were
using a
trying to
bunch of
say we're
terms you don't
backtracking.
understand. No, like
Because
I'm just like trying
you
to
said
talk.
you're
Please.
changing your definition as
So
if it's like a fallacious way.
no, I said you're changing your arbitration of what you believe the word to be.
That's a definition. You what? That you
Yes,
literally just used
what
a
obviously, yeah, but
you
there's a
literally
difference.
just used the complex
Are
what's it
you
called?
done?
Complex definition to define
Okay,
definition. Move on.
okay. Okay. So an arbitration is your point of view of what you think the definition means. That's why I said an arbitration
Of
instead
what
of
you
saying
think a
definition.
definition mean. Okay, of
Yeah,
what
you're not using
oh
the definition correctly, which is why it's an
your
arbitration.
interpretation of a definition is
Why
still
didn't you just answer what I said?
cause you
I
just
just
thought
said
of
your
something that was
arbitration
retarded.
of a definition
Yeah, and
isn't the
I'm
same thing
explaining
as
why
the
that's still a
colloquial.
definition because you
Okay.
corrected me on that
Okay.
when there was no need.
Then
Because
what was the purpose? Are you
because an
done? Like, why
interpretation
you
of a
keep cutting me
definition.
off? Like, you're not letting me respond to something.
I'm just adding
Okay.
on to
You're kind of like
argument.
gish galloping here. Okay, so why do you think that in this case, to where you're responding to a contingent point, and then I say that, yo, this is an arbitration, and this arbitration is what you're changing, and then you're attacking it saying, no, it's a definition. Why do those things have to be mutually exclusive? Why can't something just be an arbitrary definition? And contextually speaking, that's what I was doing because I prescribed to you why that's not the actual definitive word for what it is. So there's
Okay.
nothing wrong with what
I
I
don't
said.
really
You just
care
wanted to
about
go off
going
on a
on with
tangent that
semantics with
wasn't
you.
relevant towards the debate. Like this isn't relevant at all. This is just a derail.
I was trying to what I did was try to
Can you
reiterate your
circle this back to the debate instead of
all
like
I did.
wasting my
Okay, yeah, I'm
time like
circling
this
back to
pseudo
the debate.
logic? Like
What? Okay. All I did was like reiterate your argument. Then you called me out for something in my like what I said, and I
why
wasn't
are
wrong.
you on a
That's what I
derail?
meant. Anyways,
Cruz,
I'll move
I
on
sent
to
the
what
full
were you?
scan by the way. I sent the
Thank
full
you.
scan by the way.
Thanks, bro.
I sent the
Oh, boy.
what did I say? Oh yeah.
Yeah, circle this.
Okay,
What is
that was
yeah? So
funny.
what is the perception of time mean? Or
Oh
well, my
yeah.
fault.
Okay.
In this
So
case,
basically, oh my bad for cutting you off.
okay. Why does a manipulation of time equal a perception of time?
Okay,
Then you
because
brought
I
up
think perception.
perception being able. Are you let me finish before I
Bro,
ask you
you
like
keep
the
on
full
taking
question?
stops and and I'm not trying to
I'm
cut you
not.
off
You're cutting me
purposely.
off. It's blatant, bro.
I'm not trying
Okay,
to cut
so
you off on
what is the
purpose.
Bro, you keep on saying you're not trying to
bro?
cut him off, but you keep cutting him off,
What
bro.
the
Like,
fuck is wrong with you, dude? All right. So, what is a perception of time inherent, or in this case, why does manipulating time inherently mean that you perceive time? And in this case, for your definition, like arbitrarily of what you prescribe to be perception, why does perceiving time inherently mean that it exists in this current like vacuum that we're operating under? Like, but yeah, you can continue to respond.
Hold up. I'm doing
Yeah, I nigga fucking serious. This is fucking serious. Stop it. This is serious. This is fucking serious. Stop it, bro.
Bro, you're
This is
not funny. You're not funny.
stop it.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Very
Alright.
funny, I
Yeah,
guess.
say that again.
Okay. Manipulation doesn't inherently equal perception. Perception doesn't inherently equal perceive unless you can prove that perception within this vacuum
Okay.
is actually perception. And
I
if you
think
agree to the vacuum, what I'm going to say is then you're agreeing to the arbitrary standard that you're operating under a set axiom what the mangaka is using.
okay.
But you can respond.
I think perception takes awareness of something. So I don't think you can manipulate something you're not aware of.
So are you finished?
Yeah. Response.
Okay. So do you realize that the mangaka made these characters?
Sure.
Yeah, so the mangaka is attributing value to a character to progress throughout a story where all these elements are perspective, like dimensionality and all these other things that the character has to interact with. Because within the story, the character would be literally interacting with these things, whether it be directly or indirectly, because you're prescribing to the manga. Okay.
Are you still going? Because I cut you off.
I finished, bro. Like, you're good.
All right, my bad. So, anyways, the thing is, the character in the fiction is external. So, like, us writing it through a progression of events wouldn't equal the character necessarily being aware of us through their perception. Just because we progress them.
Okay. Stop making up bullshit. Like, I'm gonna cut it quite frank.
How is that?
You literally just said like, "Hey, let me respond. Let me respond." You literally just said like the stupidest shit I've heard all day today. You said that the character, in this case, the story or these characters, they operate externally, which is just dumb because you're already agreed and you're
that's
okay.
straw man.
Are you finishing? Are you let me finish?
Why
Are
would
you
I
let me
let
finish?
you finish off of
Okay,
a straw man
you can
argument?
tell me that afterwards, and you could recorrect yourself,
so
or you
I
could just
let you go
clarify,
on a
provide a
tangent,
consensus.
bro? Okay, that's your turn. Just go on.
Okay. So in this case, what I'm telling you is that that's completely irrelevant because you're the one who wanted to operate under these conclusions and these set premises using things like Versus Battle Wiki and other websites. Well, in this case, just Versus Battle Wiki. But by just agreeing to a Versus Battle Wiki type of debate, you're already agreeing that we're operating under this system to engage with these characters, to subscribe to these things that are within the story. And if you're already agreeing to that, you have to agree that these characters are all operated under dimensionality or they're within dimensionality. Unless you can prove that like this character has like this external value above dimensionality with outside of the story, which would just contradict the purpose of the story because it's just a representation of the writer. So like but
Bro,
you can
that's
continue to
not Krous.
respond.
That's a blatant straw man. I said, because this is what your initial claim was. You said, okay, we are into art. Like, you made up some bullshit about like perception through the character, how we like make them go through the story, and I say we're external from the character. I know, like, look, this is why I wanted to correct you. I said we're external, not the character being external. I said we're external from the character via we're viewing it as fiction. So any type of like perception, like how we perceive them, like interacting with us, would just be external. And I'm not winking fear. I'm literally getting him to. Okay, never mind.
Drown.
That wasn't funny, Limits. Shut the fuck up. Anyways,
Limits, jump off
so
the cliff.
are you finished?
Yeah.
There's no point of trying to argue that I was strawmanning you when it's just going to be hearsay and me saying that I think that you said this and you saying I think that you said that. It's not going to help us progress at all. So within this set standard, like I said, you have to agree that characters operate under time, or they're interacting with time inherently.
Okay. Why?
Okay, because you're reading a mangaka story.
Okay, that's narrative time. For example, there can be a character that's portrayed to be above time within the light novel, but I'm completely external from the character. So how I perceive the character
are you done?
Abide by time.
Okay, so you're telling me that you perceive your character above time?
No, okay. I say externally, okay. I can see they're like in having a temporal relationship, but that's external.
Okay, so I'm gonna clarify something. You're not using any of these words correctly, which is why there's like a divergent.
No. I'm not even using.
Are you finished?
Just a retard.
Are you letting me explain why you're not using them correctly?
Argument, Krous. I don't care.
Okay, that's what I'm doing, and you keep interrupting me because you're getting mad that you're losing a fictional debate about anime characters. It's kind of weird. But what I was saying to you, regardless, is that in this case, for you to even claim that it's external, you need a proof system for that. But you're not actually able to attribute any type of proof system. You already agreed to a proof system operated under Versus Battle Wiki, in a fictional debate setting to where there's a proof system that's animate that we have to operate under. Your perception and views and things like that are kind of thrown out the window when you're already prescribed to this value of truth systems. So, like, again, this is kind of pointless. This isn't like a philosophical gain or any type of debate that you're going to be able to attribute those values.
Okay. Anyways. So external is supported externalism is supported under VSBW. Oh shit, I just spelled that wrong. Externalism is still supported by VSBW. Like for example, and VSBW supports like dimensional existence. So
do you know what externalism is?
yeah, just being external from something. That's what I define.
No, it's not. It's not what it means. So why I said again, you were using the words wrong. Stop using words you don't understand.
Okay,
The
we can go to the
the
definition.
definition of externalism. It comes from philosophy, and the way that people use it is describing mental effects or things that are essentially dependent upon the world externally from your mind, but you still have to have that inherent
What
value
I'm
from the
saying is
mind.
external.
Which is why
Oh my
why are you
god.
cutting me off?
Because
Why are you
I'm
cutting me
not
off?
using the definition of external like that.
So I could give a fuck about your arbitrarily definition. Then why does that
How is it
matter?
an okay, we can go to
It's
the
an
definition.
arbitration if it's not actually the definition. What the
Well,
fuck?
okay,
Everything is going to be within your
I'm using
arbitration.
the Oxford definition of external.
Okay, that's what I. Okay, I'm going to pull it up for you right now. I'm on Oxford. Let me get it from you. I don't know why you're trying to be like dishonest. You're just like wasting my time. To be
I'm
honest.
not being okay. Search up
She just said you're a piece of shit.
Okay, look in chat. I'll post it in chat so people in chat can
I don't
see.
care about the
I'll post it
externalism
in scans so
philosophy
people can
definition.
see.
Bro, this
Okay, wait. I'll post it in scans
Alright,
and I'll post it in debates as well. I posted in 3 different channels, so you have no excuse not to see it. So because you don't know what you're using, you just like pick this up for some like meta ethic thread or like fucking.
belonging. No, I'm not
It just
using the
says the view.
philosophy definition. I
Okay.
already said
Okay.
that,
Where's the
Krous. You're
other
just
term?
being an
Where's
A.
where's the other term? Where's the other term?
I literally said Oxford if you didn't cut me off.
This is Oxford. The screenshot's from Oxford. Do you not see it say
my
Oxford
god.
language?
I'm going
Niggas
on
getting mad that
belonging
he's
to
losing the
something are
debate.
belonging to or forming the outer force or structure of something. So it'd be on an
Okay,
outer force.
so how does that fit this context? Because
that's
now
what
that
I
you're
was
not,
just saying, but you cut
okay,
me
go ahead.
off.
Explain why it fits this context.
Okay, the reason it fits this context is because of the fact that externally, or the outer force of something like 4D, is external from 5D.
Why do you think that?
Okay, because sure, I'll just show it on versus battles. Okay.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking for you to show me why it's externally the case. Because versus battle wiki isn't going to say external. They don't use it like that. They actually use it properly.
Okay, sure. External. Oh, I think external just means like infinite gap or inaccessible.
Why are you? Or is that what you think it means now? Did you just change arbitration again?
No, that's literally okay. I literally gave the analogy, the outer force, like 5D would be the outer force to 5D because a 4D
That's not what I
construct
said.
wouldn't be able to reach.
What is the point of going on this?
Okay.
What is the point of going on this tangent? I'm talking about the infinite gap statement you just made.
Oh, infinitely or inaccessible. I'm about to show it on VSVW.
Okay, so why are you like? Is that what you're saying now?
What? I've been saying that.
Okay, no, you backtracked earlier in the debate when I said why isn't it inaccessible, and then you said, "Oh, never mind, I won't use that," and then now you're bringing it back up again, backtracking.
Inaccessible or infinite. What?
Yeah, you said that you want to do that earlier. Now you're doing it again.
What?
So do you want to go back on this, like get slapped on it, or are you just gonna like actually make an argument?
It's not going back. But
okay, that is called backtracking. If you already addressed the point, and then you're moving back on it.
Earlier statement you said I made, so it's not backtracking.
Yeah, bro, you're contradicting yourself so hard right now, bro.
All right, wait, that's not needed. Continue. What are you saying?
Games here.
Continue.
I am I just don't know why that guy unmuted like at a turn.
All right, you can continue. There's no point of like just I don't know, like just commenting on people like random.
I'm not.
Like they do that all the time.
I know. I was just seeing how it's weird.
Okay, so you're gonna address the argument presented?
I'm sending something. It's a scan.
Okay, send it.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to realize we've been debating for like over 20 minutes and you haven't scaled Natsu yet.
Wait, what are y'all debating about?
Natsu versus Luffy.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Nigga, there's a thing called a...
My bad.
Oh, who this blitzes?
Wait, Krous, have you heard from King and Queen Lion yet? Is he alright, bro?
What?
What?
Have you heard from King and Queen Lion? Is he alright?
Okay, let me look in here. Hacks. Okay, what about it?
Not. What did oh yeah. Let me just get the specific note for you. I'm doing something, so.
Bro. No, Natsu scaling isn't inconsistent. Just everybody who scales fairy tail is probably just like a rat, or they just take stuff out of context. So that's pretty much it.
Here. Wasn't just trying to
3-dimensional.
Like multi-continental verse. Like the planetary at best. Pretty sad.
I sent it. Oh wait, no, I didn't. Did I? Here, where's the note that I'm referring to? I saw it ask if I sent it, but no one answered. Spectre. That just proves my point of like external, like between dimensional existence. And also, I think they define a conceptual transform.
Automatically immune to 3-dimensional lower axis. They are yeah, that's not what you said. Before you said that 3-dimensional is inherently external from 4D things.
I said vice versa. Actually, 4D's. If I did say the 3D 4D, then it was like an accident. But 4D is completely external from 3D. That's what I said. And
okay, so you're trying to say that. So you're trying to say that 4D things. Are you trying to say that 4D things operate under like a different set of dimensionality than 3-dimensional things?
They're like all I'm saying is that they're external dimensional. Like,
yeah. What is your like Google Gaga definition of external mean again?
Infinitely or inaccessible. Like disappeared or something.
All right, so in this case, why does this apply to like the zero thing?
Because if they're thank you. So if you're not able to like affect something, like if something external from you on VSBW, which I clearly show the note, it states that like if a higher dimensional existence wouldn't like the lower one wouldn't be able to affect it, and we see Zareth affecting time, then Zareth would have to be on the same dimensional existence as time.
What is this like? Why would this matter to like outerversal characters?
I never made the claim he was out or off of this.
I never said Zareth. I said like, why did this? Do you think like Zareth can affect outerversal characters?
I never made that assertion.
I'm not saying you are. I'm asking, do you think it's the case?
I don't like. I take a neutral stance, so I don't see why that's
okay. I think that Luffy's outerversal. Like, do you have a contention with that?
Justify that?
Yeah, sure. Luffy is able to interact with beings that are beyond trans duality.
Okay, can you show that?
Yeah, sure. Let me get a scan. Like, let me see.
Wait, Krous, where are you putting these scans at, bro?
I'm posting them in scan shot.
Alright, thanks, bro.
Don't know what scans
he got the screenshot that scan.
Right, so have you ever watched One Piece before or read it?
No.
Okay. So every single devil fruit in One Piece is actually based off like an actual component, based off of something that's in the real world or directly comparative to it. So there's things like the Buddha in One
Let me
Piece.
watch the scan. Let me watch the scan. All right, let me see the scan.
Yeah, fucking scan shot. So there's an actual Buddha in One Piece.
I am. Oh, alright, a giant Buddha. So like, why don't just make him outer? Oh yeah. Wait.
Do you
Hold
know
on.
what the Buddha is?
Let me attack something. You said everything in One Piece is based off of the real
That's
world.
not
What
what
is
I
that?
said. I said the devil fruits
Oh,
in
the
One Piece
devil
are
fruits.
based
My
off of
bad.
like direct comparatives. Like they're comparative to all these things, or they actually are these things. We know that's the case because there's characters like Marco the Phoenix, and the whole point of a Phoenix is to be immortal. Marco has immortality.
Okay, I think that's just a composition fallacy.
Why do you think that's a composition fallacy? Like, what
Okay,
do you even think that means?
because you're saying Mark. Okay, I think a composition fallacy is like saying black people like are criminals because like one black
They
person.
are
Bruh.
blackies.
Okay.
Black people are like criminals because one black person committed a crime, and so
Okay.
therefore like everyone in the VC that's black is like a criminal. I think that's like what
Okay.
Damn
So
right.
you said. So you said. Wait. So you said that
our
black people.
fallacy
So
of
one black.
composition.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now can I explain why it applies to this?
You said what?
Can I explain why like it's what's it called applies to this?
Okay, I'm gonna bring up. Okay, go ahead before I do
Okay,
that.
so why it
It doesn't
applies to
matter.
this is because I asked you for justification of like why a Buddha would be an IRL Buddha, and then you said, okay, well we see that Marco like is a phoenix, and phoenixes are portrayed to be like immortal, so therefore this would also apply to like use this as justification for Sengoku. I don't know why this would apply because you'd have to prove it for Sengoku or show like a
Oh,
direct statement
I want
referring
it.
to everybody.
Yeah. So do you know what? Do you know what deductive and inductive reasoning is?
Yes, I know the deductive. That's not deductive.
Okay. That I never said it was. I'm just asking if you know the forms of reasoning
I'm
because
just
I'm gonna
saying,
go
my
over
bad. I
things.
precogged. That's my bad. But just say your
You, the fuck? Do you
argument.
think you're an anime character? It's kind of cringe. Like,
What? All I'm
but
saying is I precog. I try to like assume your argument. It's not like
you could just say I try to assume it. You don't have to be like cringy. Like say I
it's not
precogged it.
cringe.
Like you have a Renegon or some shit. Um, what I was what I was gonna say to you regardless is that so the fallacy inherently that you're trying to use is contradictory to itself. For example, for us to know anything is the case, we know that it equals itself. Obviously, with things like the lava
Your
identity,
mind's cutting up.
they're my fault. Okay, I'm good. For us to know that something is the case, we know that it has to equal itself with things like the law of identity or certain logical truth systems, as well as the fact that we know to reach a point of conclusion, we have to move through a certain amount of assumptions using things like Occam's razor of the sorts. So, if we have various cases to where characters in One Piece actually represent something in
you
equivalence
only said
to this
one
IRL
piece.
counterpart, then a fair. Oh yeah, sure, I can get you another one. 1 second, that's fine. I'll get you multiple.
I mean, we can go through all of them. You have to prove it for Sengoku, and Occam's razor doesn't
I
apply
don't.
here.
I don't. Yeah, I just have to show you that that's how devil fruits operate, and then it would be consistent for devil fruits, or in this case, for Sengoku's to operate the same way.
Okay, you can show it like for 10 devil fruits, right? How much devil
Okay.
fruits are there in One Piece?
That's not like I don't. That's not my job to
Okay,
prove. I
let's
don't
just say
know
there's
why would
like
I be able
500
to
devil
prove
fruit.
this.
Let's
I
just say
don't.
like
I don't.
there's.
I'm not gonna apply. I'm not gonna agree
I
to
never
an
said you were.
analogy
I
that's
just said like
disanalogous.
let's just
Yeah, I don't think that you
hypothetically
can
say.
assume anything. I
Oh my
think
god.
I think hypotheticals are disanalogous to my equivalence.
Hypotheticals are this how okay. How is a
Because
hypothetical
for you
disanalogous?
for you to provide
You
for you to
haven't even
provide
let me
an
say the
analogous
hypothetical.
example, are
That's
you
just
done?
retarded.
Okay. You said 500. I think proposing
I
any
said
value besides the one that I described. I
and I'm
think
giving okay,
describing
this I'm
any
not trying to make it pertain to your argument. I'm making a separate
what?
argument.
Okay, so I don't care about it then. You're not
Okay.
providing the
Oh,
contention
you
of what
don't
I'm
care about my
saying.
separate argument?
No, because I'm on a point right now.
Okay, if I'm making I have to make a refutation to what you presented.
Oh, so it's a refutation, but you just said it's a separate argument. If it's a
An argument
contention
would
or a
be a
refutation,
separate
why you
refutation.
cutting me off? Can
I
you
mean, a
shut up?
separate
Are you
refutation would be
cutting
an
me off?
argument.
Can you like shut up for a second and actually let me finish my point?
I have
Okay.
let you finish.
So why do you think that a separate argument is a refutation? If you're making a refutation or a contention, it would be within the same singular point. You would have like two lines intersecting on like a cardinal place, right? For you to even say that your argument is separate, you're entailing that it has nothing to do. It doesn't provide a contradiction. It doesn't provide a contention or anything. So no, your argument wouldn't be separate.
Damn. Okay.
If it is
Finally.
intersecting with my point or to provide a contention or refutation, then I'm finishing my point. So let me finish before you contend or refute an unfinished point or unfinished primacy.
Okay. So.
Can I do so?
Okay. I was gonna give an argument. So, anyways, right? A hypothetical. I'm giving a
Did you not just listen to
refutation.
what I said?
I
I just said it
listened to
was
exactly what you
an
said,
unfinished
and
point or
I'm
primacy.
making a
Okay,
fucking
so
refutation
you
to
would
it. What the
know. So
fuck?
you would know that it was an unfinished point. So you know it's an unfinished point,
I was
or
going to. Oh my god! I was gonna give an add-on argument to support my initial proposition, and you're not letting me.
why do you have a proposition if you don't even know what my argument is?
Oh wait, do you know what a fucking proposition is? A
Nigga,
proposition is
he
just
hasn't
something
finished
you.
the fucking argument. Let him finish. God damn.
Like,
Thank you.
okay,
Nice.
do you know? Do you know?
Anyways, a
Do you know that?
proposition is just
Okay,
something you propose.
okay.
Okay, so
So
I've already proposed that Luffy, I mean that Sengoku's Buddha doesn't equivocate to the IRL Buddha. So let me prove it. I've already made a
okay,
proposition.
are you gonna let me finish my argument or not? Like, there's
I
no point of
have.
doing this if you're just gonna keep cutting me off repeatedly. I haven't. You don't even know what my argument is. Okay,
Oh my god!
so
I just
now
say
that you're
anyways. I
done,
don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
okay. Like I've never seen somebody get so angry over anime characters.
I'm
Very
not getting
interesting.
angry. And didn't you get like in a whole Spurg fest with Hoppy because like he
Uh,
fucking said
yeah,
Naruto beats Luffy? Like I don't get
yeah. I
it.
got really angry. Balled up my fist. You done? Did that make you happy or something? Okay. Like I was saying to you within this case, so that's not a proposition. In this case is a statement or an assertion that it's supposed to express something or presupposes or at least adds a value with an extra connotation within the case, or it could be a suggested type of theme or action of something. In this case, if you have a proposition or a statement that you're trying to include, the statement has no relevance if we're trying to exchange and contend points. So instead of just spending time on an irrelevant tangent with the natsu scaling, I jumped all the way to say Luffy was out of Versal. Now, for this case, what I'm saying to you is for this fallacy that you're trying to use, I think it's contradictory in methodology because you have to prove that this fallacy is true using a certain amount of true systems to reach that conclusion. And the fallacy basically says that just because something is the case a couple of times does not inherently mean that it is always the case. Of course, that's possibility speaking, but I'm speaking Occam's razor. So I don't care for this like entirely skeptical argument that you're trying to provide, but you can continue to contend.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna warrant fallacy of composition. Then I'll let you that yeah, I'll just warrant fallacy of composition since you said I need to apply truth values. So uh what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so
Why is he talking like it's
fallacy of
Yu-Gi-Oh?
bro. What am I gonna say? All right, so basically, right? I warrant fallacy of composition. The reason fallacy of composition is like wrong is because you're saying because like fucking who looks like Happy looks like our black people like commit crimes. Therefore, all black people commit crimes. You're coming to a conclusion what's it called? You're coming to a conclusion on a couple of consistencies, right? So it's not a possibility. You're actually coming to a conclusion. That's why I think a fallacy of composition applies. Because you can't come to a conclusion on one black people committing a crime off of the totality of black people. That's why it's fallacious. So fallacy of composition applies here because let's say there's 500 devil fruits, right? 10 of these devil fruits mimic something from IRL. How can we come to a conclusion for all of the other devil fruits? Yeah, it's a possibility, but I don't think that interpretation is equal at that point, because what metric system do we use? Like what's the word? What metric value do we use to deem something consistent? Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 30? Is it 50? Is it 60? Is it 70? Is it 80? Is it 90? 100? We don't know the metric system or a value system. Somewhere I think Occam's razor would apply is like fucking someone having COVID. Like if I can't taste anything, I have fevers and but I like I have fevers and I can't taste anything, and that's like a 99% chance. Like those are the 99 percentile of symptoms when you have COVID. Then I would think you can apply Occam's razor to that. So I just gave like instances where you can apply Occam's razor and an instance where fallacy of composition applies.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so besides contradicting yourself 5 times, I'm going to attack your argument. First of all, everything is a possibility. That's the whole point of debating. You're already agreeing that there's a possibility. Just because you beat somebody in the debate or you argue any point does not actually mean that you won the debate. It just means that you presented your argument better. Or even within a perspective of reality, you arguing anything contextually would be a possibility because you can inherently prove that it was true, like beyond dimensionality or like beyond epistemology. So it's still a possibility within perspective of reality.
So did you
Two,
just say
the
you
second thing that
debating
you try to
something makes it
provide, why are
possible?
you talking over me? I
Because
just
you
let you
made an
talk about
assert.
like
You
a
made a
relevant shit for
claim.
5 minutes. Why are
Wait,
you talking
limits,
over
be
me?
quiet. You made a
Can you
claim.
shut up?
You
Can
made
you
a
shut up?
claim, so let me
Can you
attack your
shut up?
claim. Okay.
Can you shut up?
Wait,
Can I
why would I
finish
shut up?
talking? Can I finish talking? You just talked for like 5-10 minutes. Like, yeah.
On one
So
claim. You just
what
made
I'm
a claim. Okay,
bringing
sure,
up,
talk,
so
talk.
I'm contending every single thing that you said during that whole 5 minute span of talking. Okay. So essentially what I'm saying is, for this point, the reason why this composition fallacy doesn't work is it's fallacious in reasoning. So there's nothing inherently wrong with taking let's just say we have a group of individual and you have like black people, and then you said that all these black people are committing crimes, and then you provide it to a statistic. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. The reason why it is wrong is because you're taking something out of perspective. The reason why it is wrong is because we have outliers and we have contentions that go against that set demographic, such as the fact that we know some black people don't commit crimes. For you to provide this same composition fallacy, you would have to prove that some devil fruits within this system don't operate the way that they operate in this, like these equivalences to the real life counterparts. To provide something like that on that level,
Your mic's glitching.
it operates. Well, hold on, let me charge this shit. Because we're operating
Your mic's glitching.
Okay, yeah. I said, because we're operating under this system that Oda prescribes to be the case, you have to provide that contradiction. So provide some devil fruits that do not have these equivalences to them.
Okay, that was like the most. Okay, you just asked me to prove there's devil fruits that don't operate under that system. First of all, that's a negative claim when you've already made your positive claim. You can't ask me to prove a negative. That's kind of stupid. And also when you're okay, let's say this, right?
Why can't you ask somebody to prove a negative?
Wait, be quiet. In the analogy I gave, the reason why it'd be a possibility is because you're claiming, oh well, a couple of devil fruits do this, so all of them do it. You're giving a conclusion. You're giving an assertion. That's a conclusion. You have to prove it. When you give, it's like a theology debate. When you give 3 premises, you come to a conclusion. You have to prove all 3 of those
Why is there only
premises
3?
and see how they come to a
fuck?
conclusion. So if you're coming to a
Can't have.
conclusion on some with a premise, you have to prove said premise. The premise isn't proved because a couple of devil fruits do said thing. Let me put it in like let me talk. Let me put it in like,
stop making multiple arguments.
it's
Then
not multiple arguments. It's the same argument. You didn't even let me finish. Premise 1. The Buddha devil fruit is from the Buddha and IRL. Premise 2. because a couple of devil fruits in One Piece do this, that it applies to the Buddha too. Conclusion: the Buddha is IRL because a couple of devil fruits are IRL.
What?
That is you giving a conclusion. So you must prove all of the premises.
Okay.
You haven't proved the first premise. That's the whole thing. You can't ask me to prove the opposing side of that premise, which would be like, okay, give me devil fruits that don't operate under that. That's retarded.
You done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, irrelevant. In this whole thing that you just talked about, there's nothing wrong with proving a negative. Dumb as hell. There's no rule in the debate that says you can't prove a negative. It's stupid. Okay. In the case to where somebody asks you to provide something and they have the
Fucking
burden of proof
monkey.
on them, why are you talking? Like you just bitched and complained and cried your eyes out because you
I
couldn't
never
scale
did
Natsu.
that. Go
Like, okay,
Krous.
so shut
Hurry
up.
up, bro.
So
Like, I'm
shut
not
up.
trying to hear
So
you
shut up.
fucking rant, bro.
Okay, so shut up. Nobody's ranting. I'm actually providing the
You were the
contention.
one
I'm not
who
crying like
insulted
you.
me, so why
You're
wouldn't
the
I
only one
fucking
Bro,
who's
you
talk,
are
bro?
mad.
Tell me.
butthurt as
You're
hell, bro.
mad.
You're
You're
butthurt
mad
as
over a debate, dude. It's not that serious. Like, who cares? You
you're
can't
getting
scale
your
Nazi.
ass
Who
whooped
cares?
and you're getting your ass whooped in a
Okay.
debate and you're crying about
So,
it, bro.
so what I was saying, like, anyways, is this whole purpose of this conversation. Um, so in this example, there's nothing wrong with inherently proving a negative. Now, if somebody has the burden of proof on them and they ask you to provide this negative or prove this
11:47.
negative, then sure, there's something wrong with proving the negative. But there's nothing that says that you can't prove the
It's
negative. That's up to you or the
11:47.
individual if they want to prove said negative.
Nice
Now,
I have school
on this
tomorrow.
point in particular, the reason why I'm saying this is relevant is because I wasn't asking you to prove it a negative, and I didn't have an assertion or a burden of proof that I had to fulfill. I was asking you to provide this case that can you provide contradictions or contentions within the
Is
set
it
amount of
almost
devil fruits
midnight,
within
Mom?
One Piece? Because if you can't provide them,
It's a
then you
solid
can't
hour.
show that there's a contradiction. So you can't do so. So in this case, because you can't provide the contradiction, I do not have to prescribe anything to you. I do not have to address this because all I'm showing you that it's systematically correct through these amount of proof systems. Now, the whole P1, P2, and conclusion thing that you said was all fallacious in reason. Because I never said devil fruit Buddha equals IRL. I said this Buddha
It
under
was a
Oda because
hypothetical. I
okay,
never said you
okay,
made that
okay,
assertion.
okay.
I
Are you
just gave
done?
an
Are you
example of
done?
premises.
Okay. Are you done? Are you done talking over me? Okay. The reason why I
Because
never
it's
said that,
trolling,
and it
bro.
matters what I said, I don't care for hypotheticals. Again, they're a
Resurrection
waste of
event.
time and a
It's a
disanalogous.
hypothetical. Okay.
The
All right,
reason
I'm
why
gonna
they
talk
need to
now.
be
So, because you're
analogous,
like just
okay,
ranting.
why
So,
are you done when I'm giving my
I
argument?
don't
What's
really
wrong with
care. You're
you?
ranting.
You
So
don't
let me
care?
talk.
Okay, nice concession. You
It's
refuse
not a
to exchange
concession,
dialectics because you're interrupting me mid debate and speaking over me
bro.
multiple
Say your
times. You just
argument.
said that you
Stop
didn't care
ranting.
for my argument and then you continue to talk.
Stop
Mikey
ranting and say your
Solos.
argument. Hurry up.
Are you done?
Yes, say your argument.
Oh, so now you want to backtrack. Okay, got it.
It's not that track.
So
Oh my
in this
god.
case, what I'm telling to you, Angel, is for these characters in particular, for you to provide this contention or for you to actually have a problem with it, you have to provide a flaw or a contradiction in the methodology. You can't just assert that there is one. Also, like I said, with the analogous part that you try to provide with the black equivalents, there's nothing inherently wrong with doing so because we have a set precedence for why those things aren't inherently true, as well as a certain statistic that proves that that isn't true. But for this One Piece example for devil fruits, Oda is the writer of the story, and these fruits are direct representations of what he knows to be the case for all these other IRL equivalences. So you're attempting to provide a contradiction or a contention to Oda's thought when you do not have the ability to do so because that is the writer. You cannot contend the writer in this case unless you can provide the contradiction. So what's the contradiction?
Okay. Okay. You asserted what's it called? You made the assertion that what's it called? What's the fuck saying Goku? Oh no. Devil fruits in One Piece mimic like their counterpart in IRL. And then when I asked for justification for this, you literally said, give me devil fruits that what's it called aren't like this, aren't at their like same counterpart IRL. That's retarded. You're asking me, you've already asserted something, right? Let me explain to you how debates work. When you assert something, you prove your assertion. You don't ask your opponent to disprove your assertion. That's you already asserted something to be true. So all I'm asking you is to warrant that assertion. I don't have to go to the opposing or the negation of that assertion. All I have to do is apply Hitchkin's razor if you don't apply any evidence and ask me to go to the negation of that statement. So yeah, I've already refuted this. Like I've already explained why it'd be a like your argument's like a fallacy of composition.
Oh, brother. So this guy's dumb. So a debate. I'm gonna explain like debating. I don't even know why I have to do this. So if we have a premise and then we have a set amount of premises or a way we move about reaching a certain conclusion, it doesn't inherently have to be in this case of a syllogistic format to have P1, P2, P3, and then conclusion. That's not the argument. That's okay. So there's no need for you to do that. That's not the argument that I have here. The argument that I have a problem with is the fact that I'm providing a reasoning for something. By the way, if I just claim something is the case in a debate, like if I was to say Goku is boundless, and then you
Yeah.
ask me what's my proof for it, and I just said me saying it is proof, there's nothing inherently wrong with that unless you have a contention with me saying
No,
he's
it's
boundless.
literally fucking circular reasoning.
Why?
That's the
Why?
problem.
Why? Why is that the case?
Okay, your premise is in your conclusion. Goku
Okay.
is
Why is that the
Goku wins
premise? Why is
because
that the
Goku
premise
wins.
instead of the
That's
premisey?
circular.
Wait.
That's why
Why
it'd
is that
be
the premise
wrong.
instead of the premisey? Who said that was the premise?
I said the premise is inside of the conclusion. That's a straw man.
Okay. Why does no in this direct example for Goku? Why does me saying that this is the case because it's the case a problem?
Cause you have your premise in your conclusion. That's a
Who said
circular
it's a
reason.
premise? Who said it's a premise? Why can't it be a
It's a premise because
premisey?
you're proposing Goku. What's it
Okay.
called?
Wait.
Goku
Do you know what a
is
premisey
5D.
is? Do you know what a
A
premisey
premise
is?
is something you propose. You want the definition, you retard?
Okay, so a premise is entirely different than a premise. What the fuck?
Okay, what is a premise?
Okay, so a premise, and obviously I'm not going to get it like completely stated. I don't have a dictionary, but a premise is typically the way that we converse or we have a set amount of arguments to reach a conclusion. Those are multiple forms of premises. That's different from that premise. A premise, your initial
Okay,
claim,
a
or what
premise.
people
We can just
operate
say
under for the
premise.
debate.
All right. Your premise is Goku is 5D. Conclusion. I mean, yeah, Goku is 5 or Goku wins. What did you say? Goku wins or Goku's 5D?
That's not the premise. I never gave a premise. I just
No,
gave an
I'm
example of a
asking you
premise.
a question.
I
Did
never
you
gave
say
a
Goku
premise.
wins or Goku's 5D? Which one?
Okay, I said that in this case, I said Goku is boundless. That would be
Okay,
the
Goku is
argument. I never
boundless. You
said that
just
was the
said okay.
premise.
You said Goku is boundless. A premise is a previous statement or proposition. So a premise is something you
Wait,
propose or you state. You stated Goku is boundless. Therefore, that's an
okay.
inherent
Do you think?
premise.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and the conclusion
So
to
you
that
think? Do you
premise,
think that
which
everything?
is
Wait.
what
So
you
do you
said
think
is
that? Why
Goku
are
is
you
boundless.
rambling? Why are you
Huh.
spurging?
I'm
Okay.
not
Do you think that
spurging. You're
everything
just
I
being a
state?
retard and
Are
you
you
don't know what
done? Okay.
circular
Okay.
reasoning is.
All
But
right.
your
Uh huh.
supposed best
Continue.
debater on
Uh huh.
TikTok and can beat
Okay.
Trini.
Okay. Okay. You done?
Fucking yeah, I'm done.
Okay. You look smart as hell right now. So do you think every statement is a premise?
Huh? I think something you propose is a premise.
Okay, I think that everything that we state right now, we're presupposing. Do you think everything is a premise now?
Okay, everything we're stating we're proposing.
Yes. Do you think
Why?
everything is a premise now?
Why? I just asked you why.
What was your question?
Why is everything we state something we propose?
Okay, because we're assuming that it's true.
Okay, if you state, I just stated.
Okay,
Is that?
you're
Oh,
assuming
that's
that's
not. I'm
true.
not proposing that in the debate.
Okay, you're assuming that that's true again.
I'm not proposing it in the debate. So is it a premise?
Okay, I think that you're assuming that it's true.
Yeah,
Premises
but
don't have to
I didn't
entirely be
say that. I said,
subjective. Are you done?
are you
Are
proposing
you
in the
done? Are you
debate?
are you done? Are you gonna keep talking over me? Premises aren't inclusive to just debating. Where are
Okay,
you getting that from?
I'm talking. Okay, well, duh. But I'm talking about
Okay,
a
then why
premise
did you
within the
just say that I'm
debate.
speaking of it without a debate? Then what was
Okay,
the
if you're
purpose of
speaking
saying
about
that?
it external from the debate, then it's a red hearing. I'm just gonna dismiss it.
You're the person that brought it up being
No, no,
external
no,
from
no,
the
no.
debate.
No.
You
Okay,
said I'm
okay.
speaking of it, not
Okay. Then
from
we
the
can get
debate.
off this point. We can get
So
off
why are
this
you being
point and just admit it.
dishonest?
It's
What the
red
fuck?
hearing.
You're like blatantly lying and jumping around my argument.
I'm
the
not.
whole
You
the whole
just
point of me bringing this up.
wait. Can
Why are you
everyone
talking? Can you
type
stop talking
one?
over me? Can you stop talking over me?
Wait. Can everyone
Can
type
you stop
one if
talking
you
over
heard
me?
this nigga
No.
say,
Can you
"Why am
stop
I
talking over
applying it
me?
to the debate?"
Can you
Like you're
stop
a
talking over me?
retard.
Can you stop
Anyways,
talking over me? Are you done? Okay.
I'm not
So
talking over
in
you. I
this
said an
case,
argument. Respond to it.
okay. In this case, the reason why this matters is because I don't think that everything inherently is a premise. It's kind of dumb. I think that there's different types of
I never
premises as
made
well
that
as different ways
assertion. You're
we can
just
view it.
attacking something
I
I
never,
didn't say.
I never said that's the case. I'm using this to provide to you something and articulate it better for you because you clearly don't
Okay,
understand.
why
You're
do I
clearly
need, bro?
ignorant.
You're just
Because
attacking something I never said.
I'm showing you why there's a distinctive difference between a premise and a premisey to provide to you why in this
Oh
case for
my
this
god. Okay, I
argument
don't
there's
care.
nothing
Sure, there can be
inherently
a
wrong with
distinction.
me
How does
saying
that
that
help you?
Sengoku. All right, are you done?
Like you're trying to use rat scaling to get Luffy
Are
to
you done?
outer, and you're
Are you
fucking
done?
losing on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
done,
done?
bro.
Okay, good job. Um, what I was saying to you is the whole reason for me providing this distinction is showing you that there's a difference between a premise and a premisey to show you that if I argue something is the case within a set amount of arguments to get me to a conclusion to believe something, that's perfectly fine. For you to have a problem with the premisey and you to provide a contention to said premisey is completely different than providing a contention with the premise. The premise for the overlying debate and the over hierarchy for the debate was already set in stone when we did Luffy versus Naruto. The premise was already set.
Oh
So
my
I'm
god.
arguing to you that you have to provide a contradiction. Do you have a contradiction? Yes or no?
Okay, this is what we're gonna get to, and then this is what we're gonna say. I'm gonna type it in chat, so even like some of your like your goons in chat can get you. Hey, none of the motherfuckers vouching for me are goons, by the way, because they've all given reasoning. Krous, okay, let's
Okay.
just say this, right?
Why did you feel the need to say that? Like nobody
Angel,
cares.
you're
Someone
getting
in chat
slammed
said
on your neck.
something, but I was just about to say something in chat. I was just saying in BC. Krous asserts that because there are no. Krous says, okay, there are things in One Piece that mimic devil fruit. Or no.
It's not what I
Every
said.
devil fruit in One Piece, what's it called? Mimics its counterpart. Or is
It's
it
not what I
exact same?
said.
Is it a counterpart? Not mimic, my bad. Is it
It's not what I
exact
said
same as the
again.
counterpart?
That's not what I said either.
Okay, what did you say?
Yeah, I said that every single devil fruit in One Piece has a comparative representation in IRL. An example that I gave is a phoenix in One Piece being the same
Comparative
thing as a phoenix in the real world, and the same example I gave for the Buddha in this case being the same thing as a Buddha. And then I was gonna go off to give more examples, but you cut me off
Okay,
multiple
what do you
times
think?
and started shotgunning.
I'm not gonna get tied up in semantics because every semantical argument we've had, I've won, and then like you try to like spur. So,
If you want it, why do you keep going back on it?
I'm not going
Kind of,
back on it. This is
okay,
literally a
you
new
did.
argument. What the fuck?
We're
Anyways,
on the same point that we were at during this 20 minutes ago. We were arguing
this
about
right,
it.
literally,
There's nothing wrong with you.
look. He just said I'm going back on things, and then I'm trying to move on towards it, and he just interrupted me. You're sped. So let me say my argument, right? Uh, basically, you said that everything has a comparative representation to your argument. Now you're asking me to show something that doesn't have a comparative representation. You have to prove your assertion first. The whole reason I'm going against your initial claim is because your other premises to what's it called, give a conclusion to that initial premise is wrong. And then you're trying to get me to prove my opposing premise. But my opposing premise is a negative claim. So prove your positive assertion. Prove Sengoku's Buddha is the Buddha from IRL. Simple.
Already did. So are you done? Let's move on.
How?
Okay. In this
All
case, like
you
I
did
said,
was a fallacy
I
of
already proved it.
proposition.
Okay. You can think that. Okay. Are you done?
You haven't refuted. Okay, sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna assert that I think that
What?
Buddhas are just beyond trans duality. Do you disagree?
Okay, why would that equivocate to the One Piece Buddha?
Okay, that doesn't matter because we already just had a contention. You think that you defeated the argument. I think I slapped your bitch ass on it, so we can just move on.
Okay,
So,
so
like I told you again, I do think that the Buddha is trans dual.
I'm agnostic. Or I'll take a neutral standpoint.
Yeah, stop using the word wrong. It's kind of cringe.
It's
What
cringe
I was
using the
saying is,
fucking word wrong. Go with the argument.
yeah, because it is cringe in this format because the way that you're using agnostic just shows me that you got
I
these arguments
clearly
from
messed
somebody.
up and I
Cringe.
said neutral right after, you fucking
Okay,
retard.
so in this case, the reason why I said that is because the Buddha is trans dual. In fact, the Buddha is referred to something beyond
Okay, why is the
duality in
Buddha
multiple
trans dual?
religious
Can you
texts.
justify that?
All right. So, do you know what the concepts of yin and yang are?
Sure. I guess.
Yeah. So the concepts of yin and yang are duality. It's the
I
whole
mean, in
purpose of yin
certain
and yang.
contexts, they can confer to one duality, like light and darkness. So, I'm just leaving that
Yeah.
out. But just send your
Yeah.
scan that
So
proves. Can you send your scan that proves Buddha's trans dual?
yeah.
Go
So
check again.
I'm gonna give you a scan that provides that the Buddha is just above like things like yin and yang or prescribes to those things, where it just is able to create those concepts. So give me a second.
By the way, I'm using. No, that's not relevant right now. Where's scans? Where is he gonna send scans? Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Okay, there you go. Scan shut.
Bro,
Yeah.
I didn't even
All these,
realize my mic was unmuted. What
all
the
these are
What's it
fuck?
called?
aspects.
Skins
All these are
proves.
aspects. Okay. All these are aspects of Vinshu, which is the same thing as the Buddha. It also has it under there too, in case you think I'm capping. Vinshu is just a transcendent being that is beyond all these things, such as like extra dimensionality, dualities, concepts, and conceptual things in nature. Yeah. So.
Let me go to me
Okay.
real quick. The general. Wait. Am I retarded? I don't see anything in scans.
Yes, you're retarded.
Oh, he sent the Wikipedia. Okay, why is a Wikipedia like a valid recollection of events for
Yeah.
Buddhist
You
Yeah.
religion?
retarded piece of shit.
Okay.
Retarded.
It's a piece of evidence,
Okay,
substantial
why
enough.
this piece of evidence is based on the Buddhist religion, which has many different interpretations. So why would we take
Okay.
their interpretation?
Okay. Why do you think that is wrong?
I'm just
Why
giving
do you
an
think that
equal
it's wrong?
interpretation to your source.
Why is that equal? There's a lot of things back in that
Okay,
is an
all right. I'm
interpretation.
saying, right. Why would we take this? I'm not even making an assertion. So all I'm saying is, why would we
Taking an
take
equal
this?
stance is an assertion, by the way. It's part
Okay,
of skepticism. If
I'm
you're
just
gonna do it
asking.
correctly,
I'm
actually
just
do it.
questioning why. Okay, if there's many different
Question
recollect.
is making an assertion as well.
Wait. Let me talk. Let me talk. If there's many different recollections of the Buddhist religion, what's it called? Yeah, if there's many different recollections of the Buddhist religion, why would Wikipedia's interpretation be the one we use?
Oh, that's the same one that they're using in One Piece. The same one that looks like it as well.
The same one that looks like it. Okay, Yeah, and there's many different ones, so why do we use Wikipedias?
Yeah, because it's looking like it's like the same one that they're referencing. They're not referencing Buddha as a
Okay,
person. They're
why are
referencing
they
Buddha as a being.
why are they referencing Wikipedias?
No, that's not what I said. Wikipedia is referencing the one within Hinduism, like Bradavon and things like
Okay,
that. So in this one that I'm
why?
giving you for
Oh
One
my
Piece,
god.
why are you talking over me but asking a question?
Okay, never
Okay,
mind, never mind. I got
stop doing that,
my bad, my
retard.
bad, my bad, bro.
Okay. So for this example, what I'm saying is the whole point of a Zoan devil fruit is to take upon these mythological things. So it's speaking from Buddha from a mythology point of view, not from a perspective point of view, which things like colloquial religion or like the human Buddha. So
Okay, there's
instantly it's
many
talking
different.
about the mythological Buddha.
Okay, there's many different interpretations on mythological Buddha. Or
Yeah, sure. Provide
okay,
that to me.
yeah. Okay, so why do we take
Provide
Wikipedias?
that to me. I'm waiting.
Okay, sure.
Provide to me
That
that
this
there's
is literally
different
the
there's many
easiest burden to
mythological
prove.
Buddhas that are just
This
as
is
likely as the
literally
one I
the
provided.
easiest burden to prove.
Okay, yeah. Show me that there's lots of mythological Buddhists that are equal to
No,
like
I
an
said
equal
there's many
interpretation to
different
what I was referring to.
interpretations on the Buddhist
That's
religion.
fine, but this is the most likely one. Show me one that's
Why?
just as
Is it
likely
no
as
no
this
no
one.
no 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 no? Why is it the most likely?
Yeah, because this is the biggest one. That's the biggest one when referring to Buddha
Oh
or
wow,
Buddhism
Krous
as
is trolling.
mythology.
Anyways, right? Why?
Just
Okay,
gave it to you. Why are
it
you not
just because it's
responding
the
to the
biggest
argument?
one doesn't.
Yeah,
Okay,
so you're agreeing
that's
it's
just
the most
that's a.
likely.
How are you
Good
committing
job.
an appeal to popularity and you've been debating for like
Because
years?
that's what the writer would be using when representing these things.
Okay, no. Okay, no. Okay, let's say this right. Muslim,
Okay,
like
why are
the
you moving
Muslim.
away from it?
Let's say
Don't
like
say
the
anything.
Muslim.
Attack my point.
Let's say like the Muslim
Okay,
religion. If
attack my
oh
point.
my God, let me, bro, shut up. Let's say like
Okay.
the Muslim in the Muslim religion, right? What's it called? Like an author's using Allah in like their work of fiction, right? Why would they be using the Allah from Wikipedia just because like it
Okay,
has a
why are you
million?
asserting that it's from Wikipedia when it has multiple sources that give
Yeah,
it to the
that's
religious
exactly
texts
what
and
I'm saying.
scriptures?
Buddha has
Yeah, all the
a
sources
lot,
are there
a
for the
lot of
religious textures
sources.
and
Wait,
scriptures.
Buddha has
Oh,
many interpretations. So why do we take
okay, I'm gonna
Wikipedias?
prescribe to you why that's the case. So, for instance, if something is based off of like a religious value, let's use
Mm-hmm.
Marco the Phoenix, right? There's lots of different interpretations for what a phoenix is. But the one that's most likely the case is referring to the mortal phoenix. We have phoenixes within a more
Okay,
like
can you
America that some
justify
people are you
Wikipedia being
done?
the most
Are you
likely?
done talking? Are you done talking? Stop cutting me off.
All right.
Okay. So obviously we have a case where there's multiple interpretations for what a phoenix is, but colloquially speaking and try to get a general consensus for what is the case. It is speaking about the mythology phoenix because that's where all these other types of phoenixes stem from, and that is the most notable one. Now, to assume that that is the case, it would be most likely the case because that is where the writer should be drawing this inspiration from, and that has to be the case because that is the biggest one. So using things like Occam's razor or a simple path to get to that conclusion is perfectly fine. Don't see an issue unless you can provide me
Okay.
another big
Why is the
figurehead that is just as
Wikipedia? Why is
equal.
the Wikipedia one the colloquial one?
Okay, that's not the case. You didn't even use the word right. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You okay? Why
How was
is the
Wikipedia
Wikipedia?
colloquial?
Wait. Why
What
is
the
the
fuck?
Wikipedia's Buddha the colloquial Buddha?
Okay. So there's a difference between a colloquial Buddha. You're not using the word right. Colloquial is just within a perspective or within a set like demographic or society. Like the
Why
word
is Wikipedia the more probable definite? Or why is
because
Wikipedia
I'd
more?
already prescribed to you that that's the biggest one
Okay,
mythological speaking
justify it
wise.
being the biggest one.
Okay, look at all the information that's presented and cited through sources that I linked. I already linked that for you.
Okay, sure. I didn't. Oh, no, I already scaled natsu to 40.
Like, just asking me to prove something
Oh
I
well, I didn't.
posted
I
12
actually didn't
minutes
really
ago.
scale him to 40. I just said he could perceive time and Luffy can't. Kind of like a win con. And Krous, I was also answering a question. I wasn't talking to you.
Cool. Now go answer something I posted 12 minutes ago.
I'm about to. Put that nigga in her spine. Okay, I'm reading through it. It just it doesn't cite any other sources. It just let's see who to get to. Can you just show how much viewers this Wikipedia page has, and why it'd be more probable?
What happened?
Okay, why would how does like what is proving here that Wikipedia is the more probable interpretation out of all the other ones?
It's not Wikipedia again. Wikipedia is just a place that cites the information.
Okay, why is the site you're using the one that
And
you said it's more probable than all the
yeah,
other ones? Okay, why?
I don't think you can show me another one that's just as big as this one.
What? No.
I've been waiting. I
You've
asked you to
already
prove
made
that,
the
and you moved
assertion. No,
away.
no, 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 no,
Are you
no, no,
done? Are you
no, no,
done?
no,
I
no.
asked you to
Wait, no,
prove it
yeah, no,
10
I'm
minutes
not done.
ago.
No, I'm not done.
I
No,
asked
I'm
you to
not
prove
done.
it
No,
10
I'm
minutes
not done.
ago. Do you have
You
the
made the
scan or not?
assertion that this one is the
Do you
most
have the scan
probable.
or not? Do you have the scan or not? Do you have the scan that proves that something is just as equal as this Buddha
Okay,
representation?
you made the assertion, so you'd have to look
Yeah,
through.
because this is all the evidence we have presented. Do you have other evidence? Yes or
Okay,
no?
all I have to show is other
Do you
interpretation.
have other evidence?
If
Yes
I
or
show,
no?
wait, Krous.
I
If
don't
I
care
show
about your
another, oh my God,
interpretation.
Krous. If
You
I
can
show
show. You
another,
can
oh
show it.
my,
Are you
bro, Krous,
done?
stop
Okay. Are you
aping.
done? Are you done? Nobody's
Yeah, yeah,
aping. You're
bridge,
yelling. You're
exactly,
yelling.
bro. Bridge
Do you
is
hear my
spitting.
voice? Do you hear my voice?
Yes, I hear
Okay.
your annoying ass
Yeah.
voice,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised because you're louder than
bro.
me in
You're
this
talking
conversation.
over me. I'm not even loud, miking
You're
you. I'm just
louder
trying to
than me,
get
dude.
back
What the
on
fuck are you
track.
talking about? I'm not even that
I'm
loud.
not even. I'm loud miking,
Okay.
dog. What? I'm on base
Nobody said you
money.
were a loud mic in. Where are you getting this shit
Oh,
from?
I
What the
thought you said
fuck?
I was loud miking. My bad.
It just shows you can't listen because you're talking over me. You're proving my point.
What?
You're fucking dumb.
Because I
Okay.
mishear something.
So,
Okay, never mind.
anyways, what I'm saying to
Don't
you is,
think.
I'm waiting for you to provide an dude. What the
I
fuck?
literally. Okay, just go on,
This is
bro.
why you're like bronze in here or some shit. You have to be like, what the
Bro,
fuck?
I'm
Like,
being.
there's a
Okay, I'm.
reason.
You should be bronze. Anyways,
Bro,
go.
that nigga's
I should be.
buttercup,
Yeah.
bro. Shut
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
that nigga buttercup, bro. What you talking about?
You're both bronze.
He's
Wow.
not. He's not wrong.
Phantom
Like
should be
me
like
that.
silver, so he should shut up. Like,
What? You're high bronze. Stop.
okay. Anywho, what I was saying to you is that you have to provide an example of a Buddha used within mythology that is just as likely to be the case as this one. The reason why I'm saying this is most likely the case is because all the sources and citations that point to this Buddha being talked about over multiple years, multiple decades, and all these things supporting that this Buddha has been around for a long time, leading to the fact that it is most likely um, the Buddha that's in rotation of things, or the Buddha that most people would refer to it in the case. So unless you could provide to me a Buddha that's just like this one or equally interpreted as this one, then I don't care for your skeptic arguments that are going to try to say, "Yo, this is likely," when it's not. So
Okay, what I'm saying is you haven't justified this. Okay, if I've already explained that there's many Buddhism religion interpretations, like there's books on it, thousands and millions of books on it, you would have to justify
yeah,
this
prove
one
that.
over
Prove there's
them.
thousands of millions of books on it.
Okay, sure. Buddha
Yeah,
religion.
I'll wait for you
I'll
to
just
prove
search
there's
up Buddha.
thousands of millions of
I'll
books
just
on
search up
Buddha.
Buddha religion popularity
No,
on
like I
Wikipedia
said,
too.
thousands of millions of books on the Buddha. Look for that. I want to see that.
I'm just.
I wrote a million.
Yeah, thousands of millions of books on the Buddha, bro. I've never seen one of those shits. What the fuck?
Wait,
What library them bitches at? I'm trying to cop one in a hardcover too.
I think I literally have one. I don't know.
Thousands of millions of them? Shit, bro. You have to have like 5 copies at
No, I
least.
shouldn't. Okay, never mind. I was just saying I have a Buddha book.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking good. Why is this guy dick eating in the chat? Like, stop tagging me before I bang your ass. You're annoying. Like,
He's about to ban this
I
nigga,
just, I just,
bro.
I just ban you.
He
I just
can't,
ban you
bro.
because I don't like your profile. Like, shut up. Why are you tagging me?
Oh,
He's been dick eating the whole debate, just like Krous. That's I know how good Krous is. He slaps. He's a D tier. Like, who cares?
Why are you gawking on your cock?
What's wrong with you?
Buddha. Bro,
So I got a question.
Yo, what's up, bro?
All right, so my friend wanted to debate you.
Oh, brother, aren't you the same guy that recommended this guy? This nigga sucks.
I don't think that was so.
Say that again.
To challenge you
I
because
said,
people like
aren't
see
you the
you.
same guy that chose this guy? This guy sucks. Isn't this just vibes, by the way?
No, I didn't do that. I was the one that
What?
debated you
Okay,
Naruto
this
versus
guy
Luffy.
sucks, but he's been slapping you the entire time. Anyways,
Yeah, hell yeah,
go
hell
on
yeah.
scans, go on scans. And I don't sound
Okay.
like vibes at all. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
show me thousands of millions
Did you
of
say
books.
go in sands?
This doesn't
I want to
say
go inside a
thousands of millions
skeleton.
of books. Where does it say thousands of millions of books?
Okay, all right. Just millions of interpretations and millions of people talking
No,
about
you
the
said
religion.
thousands of millions of books. Show
Okay,
me thousands of
sure.
millions of
Not
books.
that. It's not thousands of millions of books. It's just millions of interpretations.
Okay, yeah, show me that. It just says
That's all too.
535
Alright,
million
sure.
people practice Buddhism. Nope,
I just sent you Buddhism
I
by
just read it. It
country.
doesn't say that.
It's
I
practiced
just
by
read it.
about five. Let me read it
Yeah,
for
show me
you,
they have
Krous.
different
Let me read it
interpretations.
for you, Krous. No. Let me read it for
I'm
you,
still
Let
in
me
Krous.
read
awe.
it for you.
Alright, the list of Buddhism by country shows the distribution of the Buddhist religion practiced by about 535 million people. 535 million people.
Why do people practicing and mean they have different interpretations? Again.
Okay, if they all follow the religion, they all
Yeah.
have like their interpretations on the religion.
Why
They
can't
all
people share an interpretation?
okay, yeah, they can share an interpretation, but why would it be Wikipedia's?
Okay, yeah, so they don't all have different
Okay, so
interpretations.
how would
Nice
we know it's
concession. Nice
Wikipedia's? That's
concession.
the
Good
whole
job.
point is how would we know it's Wikipedia's?
Yeah. So again, nice concession. You just provided the case where a lot of people practice religion, but it doesn't inherently mean they have different interpretations. You just
Oh, okay,
conceded.
they
Good
have
job.
different interpretations, but why
Yeah,
would the
prove that.
popular one be
Prove that.
Wikipedia?
Prove that.
Can you
Stop
prove these
continuing to say prove it.
535 million
Prove they
people?
have different
Shut,
interpretations.
bro, Krous, let me talk.
We are vibes. Keep talking.
Okay, let me talk. Thank you. So, let's just say this, right? If 535 million practice a religion, how do you know that like the followings of the religion come from Wikipedia's interpretation of the religion? Can you
It's not
prove out of
Wikipedia's
like these
interpretation.
535?
Again,
Okay, what?
it's not Wikipedia's interpretation. Those are citations from most Buddhist religion, or in this
Okay,
case,
why are their
Hinduism.
citations valid? It still comes from the
Yeah,
Wikipedia
true.
site.
Yeah, true. There's something wrong with the citations. I'm waiting.
Why would I
Like,
have to?
provide
You have to
because
warrant
you
the
have to
site.
prove
I
that
don't
the
have to go
credibility.
against the site.
No,
What the?
wait. You have to
What?
prove that the citations are not credible or fallacious in
What?
reasoning.
Wait. Why would I have to
Why are
prove
you trying to
your
shift the
source
burden of
isn't
proof? No,
credible?
you're
You have
shifting
to
the burden of
warrant your
proof.
source to me.
No,
I don't have
no, I
to not.
don't.
I don't
What
have to
the
like
fuck?
prove a
I
negative
just gave
claim.
you where the source. Look, okay. If somebody drops a document, dumbass, right, and the document says, "Yo, it came from the Constitutional Congress of Florida, where your mom lives," right, and then it says, like, boom. The next thing is, "Yo, the Constitutional Court of Florida was signed on da 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 this date." That's already credible. I already gave you a certain amount of evidence to prove something to be the case. For you to prove that it's not the case or to prove that it's fallacious in reasoning, you have to have a contention or attack the fallibility of it. You're not doing anything but saying, yo, why does this have to be the case? Trying to play skeptical with every point, thinking it makes you look good. It doesn't.
All
Like,
right, well,
providing it.
Krous, let
Look,
me say this.
imagine saying that you need to prove evidence when your statement's also evidence.
Okay.
Yo,
Krous, can you look in scan? Krous, can you look in scans real quick?
Actually, do you? Y'all know what
Looking
man
good.
right now?
Krous, can you look in scans real quick?
I already did bring that up in con. All those references are in the
Krous,
same link.
can you look in scans real quick?
Nah, what she said was foul.
Alright, so what I just typed right was Krous lost the debate. But what did I have to warrant my source?
You said
Well,
what happened?
Krous. I just typed in
Bro, man was
Krous.
man was
Wait, bro,
pregnant,
can
bro.
I shut up?
Oh.
Bro, can this guy shut up? Alright, I just typed in Krous lost the debate. If I screenshot this, send this to you as evidence, would it be valid?
Yeah, you can think that it's the case. It would be valid evidence.
I
It
didn't
could be
ask
true.
that. I asked, would
Yeah,
it
the
be
statement
valid?
is true. Sure. What's wrong with that? The statement is true.
Wait. Okay, that's a concession. You just said the
Yeah, the
statement's
statement is true.
true.
Yeah, it's true that it's false. Now what?
Oh no, that's a
Yeah, dumbass.
backtrack. You just said the statement is true. No,
Yeah,
that's a
it could be true
concession.
that it's
All right.
false.
Good
It
day,
could be true that
fellas.
it's
I'm
false.
out, bro.
Why can't it
I'll
be
take
true that
my
it's false?
W. I'll post this on
Why
YouTube
can't it be
if you
true
want to
that
see
it's
how you
false?
got slapped.